To first of all tell you who I am. I'm Lucien Bradet. I'm the President and CEO of the Canadian Council on Africa. Just a word of introduction to this great event, first in North America, as we've mentioned a few times in our correspondence with potential participants. The objective of the conference will be well explained to you by Her Excellency from Rwanda and Her Excellency from Zimbabwe, and I'm sure that Honourable Senator will also talk about that. But from my point of view, from the point of view of CCAfrica, we find that event extraordinarily important. We've done 20, 25 conferences over the last 10 years. This is a first. This is the first one we are doing in having so many women in business, both from Canada and from Africa. L'objectif de cette conférence pour nous est tout simplement pour les Africaines de bien présenter leur pays et leur continent aux partenaires potentiels du Canada pour que les affaires se développent entre ces partenaires, soit d'ici et d'ailleurs. D'autre part, deuxième objectif, je pense, pour les délégations africaines qui viennent de plusieurs pays, c'est de mieux connaître aussi le Canada pour voir de quelle façon nous faisons les affaires et de quelle façon aussi vous pouvez développer vos marchés vers notre pays, qui est quand même le pays aux abords de l'Amérique du Nord, qui est quand même un marché extrêmement important. For the African delegates, as I mentioned a minute ago, this is a great opportunity to know better about Canada, to know better about potential partners. But for Canadian participants, this is even a greater opportunity because, you know, it's not always evident for Canadians to understand well the opportunity but also the challenges that are facing Africa. And today, more than 150, 140 African women, both coming from many countries and from the different diplomats in Ottawa, you will be able to have discussion, networking, also B2B meetings over the next day and a half. That will help us Canadians to see how we can develop that partnership with Mali or with Zimbabwe or with Kenya and many of the countries that are here today. So we are extremely proud to be associated with this project that was the brainchild of the ambassador, the diplomatic ambassador in Ottawa. And I must say that it was a great idea, and we are small in helping, but we are pleased to be very associated with that. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce you the first speaker this morning at the opening of this event, the Honourable Florence Zano Chideya. The ambassador has been with us for a number of years. She is now the Dean of the African Diplomatic Corps. She's been very much involved in her public affair in her country. She was the Undersecretary for the Ministry of Industry and Commerce for a number of years. She's been in the Diplomatic Corps also. She was at the, she's been a graduate at the University of Zimbabwe, did her studies also in New York and Buffalo. So as you can see, she's an international woman, she's a diplomat. She does a great job in representing, in many, many instances, the African Diplomatic Corps, and she's also a very good friend. Excellency, would you like to address us a few words?
Master of Ceremony, Mr. Lucien Bradet of Canadian Council on Africa, the Senator of Ontario, based in Toronto, Honourable Salma Atalijan, the Director General of the Africa Bureau of the Department of Foreign Affairs and International Development, Ms. Patricia Malika, the Chairperson of AUDIS, Her Excellency Eda Kabagwiza, High Commissioner of Rwanda, President and Chief Executive of the Canadian Council, Lucien Bradet. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, chers amis, I bring you greetings from the Diplomatic Corps and the African Diplomatic Corps in particular to this first ever conference to be held or organized by the African Women Diplomatic Forum in Canada. Welcome to all the participants from the vast continent of Africa to the Canadians. Indeed, we are thrilled that this has come to fruition today. The carefully crafted and planned mentoring proposals which will emerge here must be translated into real projects in the advancement of the economic status of entrepreneurs and their nations. There are some basic glaring statistics to hold on to. Currently, the global GDP of the African continent amounts to 2%, and yet the continent is host to a population of 1 billion people, with 50% of those being under the age of 18, which depicts overall negligent contribution really to global input or output. The slogan, "Make Poverty History," is more relevant now than at any other period in the past. Even with the MDGs, very few countries can effectively confirm that they have achieved them. But then emphasis must of necessity be placed on confronting head-on the challenges currently faced by the African economies. As Africa celebrates 50 years of Pan-Africanism, Pan-African integration, she seeks even greater integration and increased harmony. This year will be remembered as that of Pan-Africanism and the African Renaissance. It will be folly to believe that this can happen without coming to terms with the role of women, for the simple reason that women play a crucial role to promote and to bring about peace, security, and economic advancement. It ceases then to be business as usual. First of all, we wish to thank you, the Ministry of Development, through the Minister, for readily agreeing to sponsor this event. And we look forward to further encouragement and continuing as well as serious sponsorship of meaningful projects which result from this interaction. The Ministry is represented here today by the Director General, Mr. Philip Baker. As originally designed, this conference here today is a precursor to this year's special Golden Jubilee of African celebrations under the auspices of the African Diplomatic Corps, which annually holds the celebrations in Ottawa. And we hope to be able to receive some of you delegates who are here today, tomorrow, at this historic event in Ottawa. But before I proceed, I wish to pay tribute to my colleagues, the chairperson of AUDIF, Her Excellency Adam Kabagwiza, High Commissioner of Rwanda, the Deputy Chair, Her Excellency Dr. Matabo Tseba, High Commissioner of Lesotho, and the various committees which worked meticulously to put these arrangements in place, as well as the Canadian Council Canadian Council on Africa, which has energized all of us to be here today. For Africa, there are several wars to be tackled head-on. There are wars on food security, war on maternal health, education, economic empowerment, gender equality, and women empowerment. We continue on to talk about global partnerships for development. The just ended conference in Durban, in Cape Town, has circulated a report on the World Economic Forum, which included a focus on how Africa is managing her resources. And so our call is that women should be part of this process. They should not be left behind. It is up to women to seize this opportunity for themselves and for their nations. You here today are sure evidence and proof and speaks volumes to what strategic partnerships can do to strengthen humanity. Lastly, I wish to thank you very much for your time.